This is Chris Kelly with your Modelfit Kickstart Workout B. For Workout B, we're going to need a pair of dumbbells, something that you can step up on. I have a small step here. You can use a stair step, whatever you may have, and an exercise band. All right. With that said, we're going to start out with our core circuit, and for that, what we're going to do is actually start on our back. All right. So what I'm going to ask you to do, you're going to start by holding your dumbbells here, and again, you can use dumbbells, really any two-weighted objects. You know, I've seen people use soup cans before. It doesn't really matter. The main thing is, as always, we're feeling this in our core versus our arms or legs, all right? So if that is the case, you can even, if you are, you can even use your hands and kind of regress this, all right? So with that said, our first exercise are what we call dumbbell pullovers, all right? So what I'm doing, I'm pressing my back into the ground, all right? I'm pushing the dumbbells together and I'm just pulling behind me and coming back, all right? I'm keeping my feet fairly close to the floor. The higher they are, the easier this is going to be in the lower back. You know, you lower them a little bit lower, it's going to provide a little bit more of focus on the abs, but it's going to be a little harder to keep the back on the floor. Throughout each of these, I want you to think about keeping your back pressed into the ground, really tightening those abs, all right? So I'm looking for 10 to 15 reps here, all right, followed immediately by what we call toe taps, all right? So I'm just tapping down, coming back, tapping down, coming back, all right? I'm looking for, again, up to 15 reps. That would be 1, 2, etc. From here, we're going into a full dead bug, which looks like this. I'm just extending. So I'm just kind of alternating this way. I'll turn a little bit more this way so you can see me. So 1, 2, again, up to 15 reps. And the regression for that would simply be to remove the dumbbells, all right, and just to use your hands, all right? That might seem easy at the very beginning, but trust me, by the end you will be burning. All right, now from here, we're going to stand up. We're going to take our exercise band and perform what's called an X-band walk. All right, now with this, what I'm going to do is cross the band, stand on the band, cross it like this, so the band's kind of like in this X pattern here. Take 10 to 15 big steps down. So I'm stepping this way. I want to try to keep I want to try to keep some tension in the bands here, so I'm not stepping all the way together. The goal is just kind of keep this thing pulled apart the whole time. 10 to 15 steps down, 10 to 15 steps back. All right, for our last exercise, we're going into what is called a single leg hip lift. All right, with this, again, I'm going to get back on my back. I'm going to raise one foot in the air. I'm pressing my abs down to the ground. Back should be flat. Hip comes up, pause, and come back down. All right. You should feel this in the butt versus the hamstrings and the back of the leg. All right. If you do feel that, you know, in the back of the leg or the back of the thigh versus the butt, what I want you to do is pull your foot a little farther back towards your butt. All right. Now, if that's still an issue, you can move to kind of a double leg bridge. All right, now to make this exercise harder, what we can also do, all right, is simply elevate the back on a step or even a chair where the same rules apply. I'm just increasing the resistance, what we call the lever arm a little bit. So I'm just coming up and down. Again, 10 to 15 reps on each side, all right? So we've got the dead bug exercises, followed by the X-band walks and the single leg hip lift here, okay? Looking for 3 rounds, 10 to 15 reps each. Now for our strength circuit, what we're going to do is once again set our clock for 10 minutes. You know, you're going to need a timer. You're going to perform 4 exercises back to back for 10 reps each, all right? And the exercises in this case would be a box or a bench dip, right? What you need to do for this, set up on a bench or a step. I'm just coming up, pausing at the top, and coming back down. All right. Now to make this exercise, now I'm starting with my knees bent, and I'm feeling this in my arms only. All right. What I want to avoid with this exercise is shrugging excessively the shoulders. All right. I want to think about pushing the shoulders down as I'm pushing up here. All right. Now if you're not feeling that at all, if you are feeling that now in your shoulders, you can move to kind of a smaller step. But you definitely want to regress that exercise. If not, if you want to make this a little bit harder, what we can do is extend the legs, come up and down, again for 8 reps or for 10 reps. And then as well, what we can also do is put the feet up on a step like this. All right, so this really kind of, again, increases the angle a little bit, makes it a little bit harder, and that's a good thing. All right, now from there, we have a bodyweight step up. All right, with this, simply going to come up into a prisoner position here. I'll back it up a little bit so make sure I'm in frame. Stepping up and coming down. Really the main thing with the step up, I'm leaning forward enough to really use my thigh, use my glute. Think about squeezing the butt cheeks, squeezing the quad here, All right, and I'm just kind of getting a little bit of a forward lean. I want to think about pressing through my heels and extending the stepping leg all the way up before I step on. So I don't want to do this where I bend my knee and step on. All right, now to make this exercise a little bit harder, we can either hold the dumbbells to our side or we can use the bands here. So I can stand on the bands, get put it up here, step up and down just like that. All right, and again, I'm looking for 10 reps on each side. You know, if you find that that's still easy, move to a higher step. Okay, now for our third exercise, we have a one-arm band rep. Okay, what I like to do for this is I will just shut the band. I'll take it like this, shut it into a doorway. Okay, so you know it provides kind of a. Then I can grab both handles and row with one arm. I'll just demonstrate here. You can also loop it around like the leg of a table. We've got some pillars here at our gym. But what I'm going to do is simply come into this just horizontal position here. Pull back and forward. I'm in a slight half squat here, 10 times on each side. Now to finish up our metabolic exercise, what we've got is what is called a bear crawl. Right, the bear crawl is you're either going to love or hate this, but what I like to do with this is just set up again 2 markers here. So I'll use the step, and I'll use another carpet square. Come down into a push-up position here, and just crawl from one back to the other. All right, again, 10 reps, so that would be 5 laps down and back. Doesn't have to be far, I'd say maybe 10 yards, but that's really going to get the heart rate up, and that's a good thing. All right, so I'm looking for 10 reps of each exercise. Set the clock for 10 minutes. Get as many rounds as you can. Once again, the goal would be with this stuff to accumulate rounds as we go along. So in week 1, if we get 3 rounds, I'm looking for 5 to 6 rounds by week 3 to 4. All right, now for our interval training, it is very much like workout A. All right, we have 4 exercises to choose from here, and I'm looking for 30 seconds of work followed by 30 seconds of rest, anywhere from 3 to 5 times. All right, our exercises are mountain climbers, where I start in push-up position here, tucking my knees to my chest. Main thing here, what I'm trying to avoid is hitting the ground. All right, I want to think about lifting my legs up so we never hit the floor. Try to keep that back flat like a table. All right, we've got the cone-to-cone sprint. You just set up 2 cones. Once again, much like we did, in workout A, you're just going to sprint down and back from cone to cone. All right, for our third exercise, we have bench hops, push-up position on the bench. You can also do this like this, make it kind of more of just a forward to back or a sagittal exercise, and we're going to finish up with air squats. All right, with the air squat, one cue that I like to utilize is just standing over a bench or some kind of surface to act as a target. So I'm going to stand over my bench here. I'm going to challenge myself a little bit to get down. Farther down you go, the more of the harder it's going to be, the more conditioning effects you're going to get. Tap it and come back up. All right, touch and go squats. Again, 30 seconds of work followed by 30 seconds of rest. Really utilize that timer, and that's your workout B.